journey into how collaboration is a key driver for accelerating diversity, sustainability, and empowered changemakers. My name is Birgit Liodden, and I am the founder of the Ocean Opportunity Lab, as well as Young Ship International, and a former director of North Shipping. I am a long-term gender equality spokesperson within the maritime industry. 2 years ago, I was part of the board of WISTA Norway as we organized the WISTA International Conference in the Arctic city of Tromsø. And for the first time, we put equality leadership on the agenda as one of our workshops. Back then, we invited several gender equality entrepreneurs to meet and work with the international shipping leaders. And Heidi Aven from She Community, with me here today, was one of these entrepreneurs. She has built up Europe's largest gender equality conference, and she developed the first gender equality index for the business sector, the She Index. Heidi comes from a strong commercial executive background from the Army, telecom, and tech industries that are just as male-dominated as the maritime industry is. Hi, Heidi.
Hi.
And so the other gender equality champion joining this conversation is our own Ms.Sanjam Gupta, founder of Maritime SheEO, very well-known shipping executive and probably the most visible young female leader in our industry in India, founder of WISTA India. She helped set up WISTA Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. And for the past 6 years, she has been on the board and executive committee of WISTA International. We all met, the three of us, for the first time almost exactly 2 years ago. And since the WISTA conference in 2018, the three of us has been collaborating extensively to push the gender equality movement in the maritime industry. Heidi and Sanjam, I wanted to hear from both of you, what is it that really built this personal commitment for you on gender equality? Heidi, please explain to us.
It was, it's really because of my background and my personal experience working in the telecom industry and being in the army. I was the only woman at the table. So, and also when I worked at Telenor, I thought, I really want to do something about being part of starting a company. So, and that's when I got the experience, trying to get money to fund the company. It was quite difficult for me to find investors, and I didn't have the network. So when I started the company, I had an exit, and that was also difficult time because of the power between the investor and me as a small entrepreneur and investor. So that's my background, and that's when I thought, I really need to engage more women to start their own company, to become what you want to become, being a leader, or if you have anything other that you are passionate about. So that's when I started the She Conference, and after that, it was such so many people that wanted to join. So that's when we started the community and the She Index, and it's been amazing. Yeah.
And you truly built a movement of really passionate and engaged women and men from all types of backgrounds.
Yeah, and I think that's really important, that this is not only for women. This is, to drive this change, we need to work together. And that's why I wanted to make, after, that was my own experience, right? But then I saw it's, a lot of people want to make a change and to help the companies to get more balanced leadership groups and to get more diverse employees. We saw that we got a lot of partners that wanted to join the community, both because of the knowledge, the network, and the experience and tools from other companies.
And Sanjam, we've known each other for many years through WISTA, while we were both much younger and without all the roles and executive board positions that we both have now. But Sanjam, I mean, India, Norway, two very different countries, but the tech industry that Heidi comes from and our industry with maritime, both very male dominated. Sanjam, how is it that you really spurred your passion for pushing the gender equality movement?
I think with the setting up of Gupta India, I kind of got drawn more and more into gender issues. And over the years, I've kind of become like the go-to person within the maritime industry in India. But I think 2018 was like a turning point for all of us when we met in Tromsø. And especially when you, Birgit, introduced me to Heidi. And it was so wonderful to kind of meet somebody who shared these goals, these ideas, and was doing so much for the industry already. So I came back hugely inspired, and it was like pieces of a jigsaw puzzle coming together. Because at that time in 2018, with the Sandvik Gender Award, we were to conduct India's first survey for women in maritime. And we came upon the She Index, and we felt nothing better than to kind of use those tools within our own survey in India. So that kind of became the starting point for a huge journey. And I think I really didn't want to be able to sit back and wait for somebody to make the change. I wanted to walk the talk. And that's how the Maritime SheEO was born, and that's how we all are sitting here today.
And I must say, from the personal level, I had a very clear intention of bringing you guys together back in 2018, because 1 year before that, while I was director of North Shipping, I fronted the global Me Too movement in shipping. And then I saw that not much happened. There were very few female executives globally that wanted to join and share their stories. There was not a lot of push and support from our industry globally on taking this initiative and doing something. And I also saw that when I spoke with people that I knew in my own business community in Norway, it was kind of let's wait and see attitude. So of course, when we brought together all the female leaders for the Tromsø conference, I was thinking then, well, how can we both tie up and work closer with the gender equality entrepreneurs from within Norway, but also bring this out to a different global market so that we can actually go through kind of a side door when the door at home isn't really open. How can we, instead of pushing and pushing it, instead find a side door and really do something that matters somewhere else? And coincidentally, Sanjam, so we all got together in Tromsø, and you were like on from the first moment. Coincidentally, I was going to visit you in India, in Mumbai, less than 2 weeks after. And so we set up, we did some homework, both of us, I liaised with Heidi and her partner EY. You worked with your contact network. And when I came to Mumbai in November 2018, the two of us, Sanjam and I, we sat down in Mumbai with representatives from the Norwegian and the Indian governments. So we had two amazing female individuals supporting us. We had our former ambassador to India from Norway, the General Consul of Mumbai at the time, Ann Ullestad. And Sanjam, you had brought your DG Shipping to meet us.
Yes, that was Dr. Malini Shankar. She's now the Vice Chancellor of the Indian Maritime University. She still supports us very, very much, and she will be speaking at the conference. But I think it was just amazing that the four of us got together, and look at us now, 2 years hence. It's been such a wonderful journey.
But Sanjam, there has been some very practical steps and some few very dedicated individuals in this story and in this journey. So we sat down 4 people in Mumbai in November 2018, and then less than 3 months later, you pushed a button and launched the first pilot of the gender equality survey in collaboration with SHE into the Indian maritime sector. Tell me about how that happened and what kind of players you got on board and how that project turned out.
Yes, I think the timing was just so perfect because I had the funding from the Sandvik Gender Award, and we realized when we were deciding how to use the funding that we had no data for women in maritime in India. And we thought that was a good starting point because if we didn't know where we were at present, how do we know where we want to go? So we needed to know how we stand. We were standing at that date. So we launched the survey, and it was so wonderful that we had this amazing SHE index that Heidi had created, supported by EY. And we went to so many of the Indian companies and we got answers from all the verticals of maritime, whether it's the ports, the shipping lines, the freight forwarding, each and every vertical was represented in the survey. And we not only took the company survey, but we also took the voices of around 1,000 women working in the maritime, whether at sea or on shore. And we came up with this wonderful baseline data, which is going to be very useful, I think, for making further policy decisions. And I think that was a great start, but I think my dream is now to kind of make sure that we have a formal collaboration with Heidi and the SHE Index and have, a time where all the maritime companies voluntarily decide to take the SHE Index every year and commit to improving themselves, commit to gender equality.
And Sanjam, in your first pilot survey, you even had the Indian government sending out recommendation for all the maritime companies to participate.
Yes, and that was
happen. As you, I mean, you are one female change maker in a very big country. How do you do something like that?
I think it's also to do with the fact that the Director General of Shipping at that time, Mr. Amitabh Kumar currently, they all have been very open-minded individuals. So it's also to do with the support and the faith that they had in me to support the initiative. Because seeing that email from them, the letter go out to all the companies encouraging them to participate was a huge kind of, it adds credibility because otherwise I'm just an individual trying to drive change. And when you're asking for data, and a lot of my competitors, because I do run a shipping organization and I'm asking for data from a lot of my competing organizations. So I think the shift has also been in the last few years where people now kind of know that I represent diversity issues in the maritime industry, and I think that role has definitely changed, and people now view me in my role in pushing for change within the maritime industry rather than my role as a maritime professional, which I think is also a good thing. But I'm happy that they're recognizing the change. But it's also been the people in the higher positions of authority, like the Director General of Shipping, who really believed in that. And we have a very progressive Indian shipping minister now. He's very young and he really believes in supporting diversity. So I think it's also top down and it's trickle down.
And Sanjam, how important was the Norwegian collaboration basis for you to get this accomplishment in place and getting the project off the ground?
I did see that my work was acknowledged in Norway, and there was a lot of support given by the Norwegian consulate. And when I spoke at the SHE conference, it was an amazing experience to have so many people listen to your story and want to support you. And then, of course, get the support from the Norwegian consulate, be invited to a roundtable by the Prime Minister of Norway. That was an amazing moment, and I think it also made people back home sit up and realize and acknowledge my efforts even more. So I think that was also a huge turning point. It was a huge support to have that, that sort of coming together from Norway and the India side. So huge thanks for that collaboration. Despite the cultures and so many differences, I feel like we're we're sisters talking today. Heidi, you and me, we're kind of bound by a common purpose, by common dreams. We may be so different, but we're also same alike. We have the same dreams and the same goals. We want to make the world a better place.
Yeah, that's true.
And Heidi, this brings us back to Oslo and Norway, because what we've said, and she is that actions speak louder than words. And you both are action makers. You are women that make things happen. And after Sanjam had rolled out and conducted the survey in India, you invited her to Norway. So during last year's SHE conference in Oslo, with 2,600 top executives from a global audience across all sectors, you had Sanjam as a keynote on the stage to talk about the collaboration between SHE community and her work. Yeah. And Heidi, you had already, I mean, both the two of us had been working towards the maritime industry here in Norway. How has this collaboration and the work with Sanjam and the journey of working across our three individual alternatives helped the SHE community in accelerating the commitment and the partnerships from the Norwegian maritime community that you work close with now?
I think, first of all, seeing that people work together and they are achieving changes, I think that is inspiring. And when Sanjam was sitting on the main stage talking about what you've done and how we can make changes together, I think that inspires a lot of people. So we got the attention from more companies, also in other industries, but of course in the shipping and maritime sector. So today we are collaborating with Rederiforbundet, which has 150 members, I think, in the shipping and maritime industry, and they are committed to be on the SHE index, and that's, you know, a huge step for us, because of course we have a lot of companies in the tech industry, because I'm from the tech world, so I had a lot of collaboration. Oh, the light went off. So yeah, thank you, Sanjam, because we really got the attention from the shipping industry, and also Birgit, you know, you working with Tool and having all the members and your partners within your sector. I think working together, we can get the attention and the engagement to want to make a change and to do something about gender equality within their company, but also doing it for you know, the commitment, doing change in the world.
I couldn't agree more. And I think we even forgot to mention one other central lady in this initiative, because during the SHE conference last year, and I think it was just after Sanjam had been on the stage and doing her keynote, we had also gained the support from the first winner of the Vista International Award, the Norwegian female ship owner, Elizabeth Grigg, who was also the first female president of the Norwegian Ship Owners Association. She helped us to form and put together the first SHE roundtable meeting with 50 of the top executives from across the financial industry and the maritime industry of Norway. And I know, like, from after that, the combination of seeing Sanjam on the stage and having a more maritime presence in the general SHE conference, and getting then all those top executives into the audience actually through the table meeting, I think that also mattered a lot, because it gave a more kind of personal commitment and actually building the awareness of the initiatives going on. And I think that a lot of the time, it's not that we don't want to make change or don't want to support things. It's just that it's often difficult to find out where to start. And when we get these very specific initiatives that are actually just, you know, some people not waiting for it to happen, but just starting to create the future that we want for ourselves and for our children, then it's much easier for the others to get on board. So we will hear more about the SHE Index and the work from the SHE community later, as Sanjam and Heidi is also now preparing stronger collaboration together. We just wanted to bring you with us kind of behind the scenes of how this happened, because from the outside, it can often be challenging to know where to start. And we are a lot of people who really want to get on board and create change. And I believe that together we change. The sky is the limit. We decide which future we want to be in and which world we want to be in. The world is our playground, but we can't succeed alone. And as female change makers and entrepreneurs, collaboration across industries and borders and cultures is the most powerful tool. So get on board, have fun. It's now that we are creating the future. Thank you, ladies.